Everyone, happy new year. Jesus, we made it. How we made it, I don't know, but here we are, 2021. Dang, that guy straight out took the red light. Seen that? That would have been it for me. Would have been a little closer, hit that light a little sooner. But yeah, man, we made it through 2020. Congratulations to all of us. We had a long year. I had a long year. I can't say it was bad. Like, it was tough, it was challenging, but I can't say it was bad. I learned so much last year or yesteryear that I can't even be mad at 2020. It definitely toughened me up, and I got to learn and experience a lot. But yeah, a couple of things I'm gonna talk about today. I'm gonna talk about the breakdown of November. I had a challenge. Dang, it's windy today. I had a challenge, make as much money as I can. Well, I had a challenge to make $10,000, right? So I was working every single day, going like all day, just trying to make as much money as possible, doing DoorDash and UberEats. And I made a pretty good amount. I made 8,100 and something. I don't know the exact number, but I'm gonna talk about how I made it happen. I kind of break it down to like what I was doing daily, what I used, and what vehicles I used, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna break it down, and it's gonna be pretty cool. You know, last year in November, I had a challenge. I set myself a big challenge. It was look at this guy taking the red light. He's gonna get hit. 2021 not gonna be his year. So I set a challenge. I was like, all right, cool, let me multi-app and work every day, long hours, to try to make $10,000. It was a very ambitious goal, but I didn't hit the 2,000. Oh, I should just go straight. Let me go straight. But I did make 8,126. I think that's how much it was. It was definitely 8,100. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys, like, I'm gonna break down that month, because that month was epic. I'm gonna break it all down in this video, but the numbers, I'm going by memory. I gone through the notes, I wrote it all down, so I am gonna break everything down in the description, so you guys can look at that for reference. But I'm just gonna let you guys know how much I made, how I did it, and all that good stuff, basically breaking it down. So I set a challenge because, well, I like challenges. Challenges help you see what you're made of, see what you got. So I know from the past that I can make 2,500, because there was 2 weeks before November where I made 2,600 twice. It was 2 separate challenges that I had. So I figured, all right, if I can duplicate that week 4 times in 1 month, I'll make 10,000. So that's where the challenge kind of started. I was like, wait, all I have to do is do the same thing 4 weeks in a row. That was the goal, that was the expectation, but obviously there was a lot of variables, a lot of things that kind of I guess why I failed, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today as I'm going to Chipotle to pick up some food. So this was my daily strategy, right? So every day I had to be out here by 10:30. That was my dash. I was scheduled to dash in downtown LA at 10:30 every day. Sometimes I got here a little late. Sometimes I would come to downtown LA, lock in my time schedule, and then go back home because I wasn't like ready yet. You know, I still wanted a little bit more time, so I was definitely like just so I don't lose the time slot. If you don't log in within 30 minutes of your DoorDash, you lose the slot. So I was just, sometimes a few days, I'll say like 5 days out of the month, maybe more, I don't know, I will come out and then just lock in the DoorDash and kind of go back home and then finish whatever it is I had to do. But the goal was to start around 10:30 in the morning. I'm not a morning person. 10:30 is pretty early for me, but that's the best time to come to hit the lunch rush. Then once I came out here, I just started, I just started killing it, lunch rush. And I would do UberEats and DoorDash. I was multi-apping. That's how basically running 2 apps simultaneously. And no, I don't log off of one app when I'm doing the other. Like, I have them both running. And there's a whole strategy behind that, which I'll break it down in a separate video. And yeah, hold on, let me grab this food real quick. I'll jump back on. In order to make, well, look, so I will go out during lunch and try to make as much money as possible. Every day I had a goal of making $333, because if you multiply that by 30, that's 10 grand. So every day I had to make $333, I think. Let me break it down. I do remember that's how much yeah, it should be, right? 10,000 divided by 30, $333 to 33 cents. All right, so that was my daily goal. So I broke down the day into 4 sections. There was the lunch rush, there was the time between lunch rush and dinner rush, like 2 to 5. So the first one was lunch rush, which is like 10:30 to 2:30. That's where you make the most money during lunch. Then there's that window between lunch and dinner, 2:30 to like 5:30, and that's where it kind of slows down. So that was section number 2. Section number 3 was again lunch rush, 5:30 to like 9:30. That's when it gets busy again. That's where you make the most of your money, the second half of the day. And then there was 9:30 to like as late as possible, till like I was just exhausted, right? So I had an amount of money to make during that time, and I'll let you guys know how much that was in a bit. Let me just deliver this food real quick. I broke down my days into 4 sections. Now the goal was to make 333, but minimum, that was the minimum goal. But honestly, I wanted to make a lot more than that, right? I was reaching for the sky. I was trying to just push myself every day and just see how much I can make. Now the days are crazy. They weren't consistent, because in this business, it's rare for you to have like the same day. So, but they were pretty big numbers. Like I was making like 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. Like it depends on the day of the week. Fridays are the busiest, then Sundays, then Saturdays, Thursdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays. That's the order that I would say. Friday beginning, the first days are the busiest. So some days I'll make more, and then some days will be just slow, right? So the goal was to lunch rush, to try to make at least 150, right? And then like the between lunch is like I want to pull in there another 125, 100 at least, and then dinner another 150. And then after that, I just try to make as much money as possible, which varied, because sometimes I did stay up late. Like so the latest I was out there was like one something. But then usually on average I will probably come home around 10:30, 11. I did record all my trips on Strava. So on Strava it would tell you how many miles I did. Oh, this is not the way. I gotta go this way. Let's turn around. So that was the structure of my day. The type of vehicles. Here's the thing. So what dominated was the scooter. I use the scooter the most. I'd say about 80% of the time I use a scooter. The other percentage was my car. I have a Honda Element, so I would use that usually at night. I will come home, pick up my car, and go back out there. And the reason I will use the car at night is because, one, it got really cold. Like, it's cold. November starts getting cold, starts getting closer to winter. So I went to go get my car. I got my whip. You know, I got the AC. Plus, I could take someone with me. After working so long out here, it gets exhausting. So it's nice to have some company at the end of the night. So I did that, I would say almost every night. But sometimes I just rode it out all day on the scooter. All day and all night. But there was a few days, I would say about a week, where I got an e-bike. I rented an e-bike at Zumo. Now I'm gonna give them a little shout out. Zumo, you can rent e-bikes there and pay a weekly fee and just kind of you know, do this for deliveries, which I highly recommend. Oh, I loved it. You know, got a little workout in, and you know, you can well, from my experience, I was able to do deliveries a lot faster on the e-bike than a scooter. And the reason for that is I was able to use bike lanes and get on the sidewalk when I needed to. Because, you know, with a scooter, you got to follow all the traffic laws. You got to wait at red lights. You got to follow the one-way streets. In downtown, there's a lot of one-way streets, so I had to go around. Versus a bike, I can just, you know, get on the bike lane if I need to, jump on the sidewalk if I really have to. So the flexibility of maneuvering is bigger. So I noticed making more money on e-bike. So I did that. I will ride the scooter to Zumo, which is in downtown LA on Los Angeles. I'll leave their info on the description, and I'll tell you guys more about it right now. Let me just deliver this food. So here, the reason why I didn't continue using the e-bike was because with this challenge, I was trying to make as much money as possible. But I noticed that with the transitions from going to the bike shop and switching to an e-bike and then going back later before they close to kind of leave it there and then going back on the scooter, like that transition kind of took time. So I just stopped doing it, and I just committed to just doing it on the scooter. I mean, yeah, on the scooter and the car. So that was basically what I was doing. There was a couple days where I did the car the whole day. There was like 1 or 2 days because I just wanted to just chill in the car. You know, here's the thing about doing this every day. It gets mentally exhausting, and it takes a toll on you, you know. So I like to mix it up to kind of make it feel different. So that's why I would switch from scooter to car. So the other reason why, well, that was the second reason why I would use the car, is to mix it up, to make it feel different, like I'm doing something different, you know, and not actually doing deliveries for 12 hours a day. It felt like I was doing deliveries for 8 hours, and then the last 4 I was doing something a little different, you know. So definitely keeping it new, keeping it different, it helped get through the days, because it started really taking a toll after like day 10. It was like, damn, I need to like do something. It's becoming just like routine, and you know, I like to keep it a little spontaneous. So that's the reason why I was jumping between vehicles. What's the next thing? Let's see, where am I gonna break down? By the way, I'm going back to downtown just because I did my first 2 deliveries for $21 here. It's cool, pretty good. I can't say it's really busy, but the quality of the rides are, I mean, this is just the first delivery. I accepted the first one that popped up. Let's go. But yeah, what am I gonna break down next? All right, money. All right, let's talk about the expenses for gas. Ooh, that's a big one. So I recorded all my rides on Strava. I'll leave a link for Strava in the description. So Strava is basically an app where you can record the miles you ride, ride an e-bike, scooter, whatever, hike. It basically is a tracking app, and it's pretty cool. I like it. As a cyclist, that's like the go-to app. They have challenges and you can compete with friends and shit. It's pretty cool. So I recorded all my miles every day. I'm actually surprised that I actually didn't forget to do it every day. So I got 30 recorded trips for the month of November, and I rode a total of 2,906 miles. Let me repeat that because this sounds pretty nuts. 2,906 miles. That's the equivalent of riding across the country and still have like 700 miles extra. No, 23, because it's like 2,300 miles about to get to New York from LA. So I still had like an additional like 600 miles that I rode. I probably could have went down to Miami. That's how much miles I put. Speaking of miles, I need to do a little tune-up on this baby. This little Ruckus, the Honda Ruckus, man, this thing puts in work. Highly recommended. No wonder everybody wants one of these. They're so reliable. They do 100 miles a gallon. They're super comfortable and they look cool. I think they look cool. Not a lot of scooters can take the title of coolness. They all kind of look weird looking, a little goofy if anything. But this one actually looks kind of cool. And it's a tank. I've dropped it a couple times. A car backed up into it once. This thing, nothing happens to it. But those miles are ridiculous. It was an average of like 96 miles a day, so almost 100 miles. And check this out. So how much money did I spend on gas, right? Let me break that down. All right, so I'm gonna break down how much money I spent riding 2,906 miles in 30 days. I'm getting delivery from Chipotle. Let's see. 9 doll hairs. Let's do it. So I rode 2,906 miles in 30 days. It was an average about 96 miles a day. 80% of the time I was using my Honda Ruckus, and the other small percentage, I'll say about 5% of the time, I used an e-bike, which there was also an expense there. I'll let you guys know what it was. And then my Honda Element, which is like a 4-cylinder car. Pretty badass car. It's boxy, big and boxy like my backpacks. But so I rode the most miles on the scooter, but the scooter is like not expensive at all. I will start my day every morning and go straight to the gas station. I'll fill up the tank, which cost me about $3 to $4 a day. Let's say it was like $3.50, $3.50, because for 1 gallon I get 100 miles. So when I fill up, I just gotta fill up the gallon once and I'll do 100 miles. I was doing the average 96 miles, so you know, I didn't use up all the fuel. There was always fuel left over the next day, so I wasn't always putting in a gallon. So total on the scooter, I spent $71 on gas, which is nuts considering that I went all the way across the country, hypothetically speaking, on this scooter. Now, scooter doesn't go very fast. Top speed is 35-40 miles an hour, but I usually ride really slow because it's safer, and you know, I don't want to like, yeah, when you drive fast, it's like you can feel it more dangerous. But anyway, so, and on the e-bike, I rented an extra battery. Now Zumo has a deal right now. They partner up with DoorDash, so DoorDash will pay 2 weeks. It's on them if you use the e-bike, because they want to encourage people to ride bikes, because it's the best way, honestly. And so I rented an additional bike because, you know, I was thinking of I was gonna be riding a lot, which that battery came through. So I spent 30 bucks because I only rode it for like a week or less. So I spent $30 on the battery, so that's about 100 bucks. And then I spent, I think, 150 on the car. Now the car, obviously it's only like 20-25 miles a gallon, so it's way more expensive. No wonder it just doesn't make sense to do this on a car. It's too expensive. You don't, like, after expenses, you don't make much money. But I did spend about 170 actually, 170 on the car. I'll break it down. I don't want to be mistaken. Hold on, let me get this food. All right, so total was $270 that I spent on gas, which is not a lot. It's actually super cheap thanks to the scooter and the e-bike. The car, it was just out of convenience and, you know, because of the weather. But the car still comes through though. You know, it has its ups, its pros. I think more cons than anything, but I'll do a different video where I break down like what it was like on the bike, scooter, car, and then how they compare. But yeah, I spent $270. That's hella cheap. I think the car was the most expensive. If I would have just done it on the scooter, I would have spent probably 100 bucks. No, let's see, 100 miles a gallon. I rode 3,000 miles, so I would have spent, let's see, 30 gallons plus times 3 something, about 100 bucks more or less. That's how much it would have been. And on the e-bike, it would have just been like the extra battery. But that was that, and I'll break it down in the description so you guys can see the numbers. Probably a screenshot too of my notes. And I mean, the way I added it up was I looked at my bank account and I saw all the transactions at gas stations and I added them up. I knew it was a scooter because it was only like $3-4, and I knew it was a car because I always fill up my car. I don't put like 10, 20. I just fill it up, and it's usually like 30 to 40 bucks depending on how much the gas is. Damn, hold on, someone's calling me. Breakdown of the money that was made. So in total, 8,126, I believe. So every day I averaged about 96 miles. I was online meaning I was basically had the app on. So it doesn't include breaks, it doesn't include me just chilling or going back home, on my way back home, on my way home. It doesn't count any of that. This just counts the time that I was actually working. So, and then it matches up with Strava, because Strava has also moving time, and then they have elapsed time. Elapsed time is just kind of you just chilling, and it basically counts the time from when you log in to when you start recording till you stop recording. So an example of that is, like, let's say I started recording at 10:30 and I stopped recording at 10:30 at night. So that's 12 hours elapsed time. But moving time, I probably was only working like 8 hours of that time. So that's time online, which matches with the Strava. So online, I was averaging about 8 hours a day, like actual work time. I gotta pick up at Papa John's. I'm picking up pizza. Yep, I am. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So every day on average I was working 8 hours, like actually working. I might have been out here 10 to 12 hours, but the time I actually worked was 8, which is surprising because I thought it was gonna be more. But it makes sense though, because you know it takes about an hour for me to get, like, it takes about 20-30 minutes to get to downtown, then another 20-30 to get back, plus there's my breaks in between. Okay, we're just going at it. New year, new me. Off my first pizza of the day, of the year. So look, I am gonna break down how much I made on DoorDash and Uber every single day, so I'll put that in the description. I'll try to put as much information as I can. DoorDash makes it kind of difficult to get all the information and calculate it, and to do that for 30 days, ain't nobody got time for that. But I will try to put as much information as I can, and maybe links to screenshots just for I don't know, just because it kind of proves it, I guess. But I know most of you that have been watching my channel know that, you know, these are legit, but I know some of you might be curious, right? So I'll post maybe a screenshot and a link to it. I don't know what will be fair and not that much work, because you know, those things get a little tedious for me. But I was averaging about 270 a day. Honestly, there was some days where I didn't make much at all. I think there was one day where I did like 2 deliveries and I'm like, I am done. I called it quits. Made like not even 20 bucks. But there was some days where I made somewhere in the 400s, mid 400s. But I don't know for sure. It's been a month, so I gotta kind of go through it. Let me let this little Prius pass by. But yeah, it was 8,126. You know, almost $2,000 short of my goal. I learned what to do and what not to do. I definitely gotta keep going at it every day, even though sometimes I might not feel like it. I gotta still come out every single day, even if it slows, because it did slow down around Thanksgiving. Oh my god, it got super slow around Thanksgiving. Plus there's this whole pandemic going on, then there's these like closures, and then there was the whole election thing. Restaurants were boarding up their windows because they were afraid of people rioting, which, you know, like I would have done the same thing too. So there was a lot of things going on in November that made it challenging. There was Black Friday, started getting colder, so there was a lot of factors. I had a strong week, then it slowed down, then I had another strong week, then it slowed down, so they weren't consistent. There was 2 weeks where I did make over 2,500, and there was somewhere I didn't break 2,000. So that's kind of why I fell short. I definitely want to try again. This month is actually no, actually no, because I don't have UberEats. Jesus. But yeah, that's my breakdown. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Let me think about it. Think of anything else, but that's basically my breakdown of one of the greatest months I've ever had. Just pushing it. So definitely broke some records, and I definitely looking forward to breaking some more this year. Let me know what you guys think about the breakdown and the whole month in general, and just the hustle. And if you guys have any questions about it, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer it as like ASAP. Also, if it's a good question, I'll answer them in the following videos. And let me know if you guys ever had like what's your strongest month you've ever had, or your strongest week, or your strongest day, like the most earnings. But yeah, anyway, that's it for now, guys. I'll post up more stuff soon about the month. I'm gonna definitely do like what should I call it? I got ideas of like videos, but I'll let you guys know later. I'll break everything down in the description, and let me know what you guys think. Hit up the comment box, like this video and all that, subscribe, help a brother out.